SnowTrax Television, going strong for 25 years. SnowTrax is sponsored by Ski-Doo Snowmobiles. Experience that Ski-Doo feeling. Yamaha, conquer snow. And by FXR Racing, maximum versatility for all conditions.
One of the most coveted awards of the year for all four manufacturers is SnowTrax TV's Real World Sled of the Year award. Here's why. This award is not about which sled is most flashy, which sled has the newest technology, or which model has the most impressive power. The winner certainly could be one of those sleds, but not for that reason. We call this the Real World Sled of the Year because the sled that wins needs to be an overall great performer on all fronts. Not just impressive power, not just impressive technology, and not just flashy features. It has to be a great snowmobile, period. And there have been many times where the newest model, the one gaining the most attention from other media outlets, hasn't won our Real World Sled of the Year award simply because, while it is the newest, flashiest model, it's not better in real-world conditions than previously established models. This year, our list of competitors is actually quite diverse. We sat down and thought long and hard about which models from each manufacturer, after being ridden thousands of miles, actually impressed us the most. No other caveats, just a simple question to each of our crew. Which one did you like the most? The final choices are as follows: Ski-Doo's MXZ XRS 600R, Arctic Cat's ZR8000 137 IAC, Yamaha's SRX, and Polaris's Indy XC 850 129. And before some of you have an aneurysm, no, these sleds are not all in the same class. But it's important to understand that they will not be compared directly to each other. They will simply be rated in 18 different categories based on what they are on their own, each category getting a score between 1 and 10. The categories are ride quality front, ride quality rear, suspension adjustability, on-trail handling, on-off-trail versatility, engine performance, engine economy, rider ergonomics, cockpit layout and features, wind protection and warmth, overall rider comfort, included features, overall build quality, durability, economy, overall ease of use, price and value, and overall riding experience. The final important piece of information you need to understand about this competition is this: we only rate these sleds based on our own experiences, not reports we get from other riders. If it didn't happen to us, it doesn't factor into our scoring. To get started, let's look at the two sleds that ended up in 3rd and 4th place and find out what we liked about them and things that hurt their overall scores. In 3rd place is Yamaha's SRX. Everyone who rode this sled this season came away super impressed with it. It scored huge marks in engine performance, engine economy, durability, and overall economy. It also got big marks in the suspension adjustability category thanks to its fantastic set of Fox IQS shocks. It got lower marks in on-off-trail versatility, price and value, and, due to the tuner skis, on-trail handling, especially on days when the trail is set up firm. At the end of the day, we firmly believe this is the best Sidewinder Yamaha has ever produced, and it coming in 3rd definitely does not mean it's not a great snowmobile. It definitely is. Our 4th place finisher is Arctic Cat ZR8000 137 IAC. This was another sled that people truly did love to ride. Its scores are interesting because it really didn't score super high or super low on anything. It was average all round, which directly mirrors our test riders' comments about the sled. Everyone agreed this is a good sled in every way, but it's not outstanding in any way. Everyone loves how easy IACT is to use, and we all love the power and reliability of the 800C Tech 2, but it's just not outstanding. Just because these two sleds didn't score top marks in every category certainly doesn't mean they are bad snowmobiles. They are both great snowmobiles any of us would be happy to ride any day, all day. But here's the big issue for them both. The other two competitors are just so good this season, it's pretty difficult for anything else to compete. So without further ado, let's take a look at which two sleds are the finalists in SnowTrax TV's 2019 Real World Sled of the Year competition. They are Ski-Doo's MXZ XRS 600R and Polaris's Indy XC 850. The biggest question on most people's minds is likely to be, why did we pick the 600 Ski-Doo instead of the 850? And the answer is simple. Ski-Doo's G4 600R is more impressive in the 600 class than the 850 is in the 800-850 class. Sled of the Year is not about horsepower, it's about overall experience. and as a 600, the MXZ XRS stands way out. The 600R's second generation direct injection system, or E-Tech 2 as it's affectionately known around here, is a big improvement over the already excellent first generation E-Tech 600. Yes, it does feel like there's more power on tap, which is always good, but the engine runs even smoother, is more crisp and snappy, and there's way more bottom end grunt than the older 600. And these might just be more important traits than the feeling of increased power. So obviously the 600R scored big points in the power category, this is true, but there are other benefits to this 600 class motor. The least of which is definitely not fuel and oil economy. In its class, the E-Tech 600R is the most fuel and oil efficient, and not by a little bit, which gives this sled super high marks in not just one, but two categories: engine economy and overall economy. These are categories that offer tangible relief to your snowmobile budget, and that is always a good thing. The final category that this 600R engine is helping to garner the MXZ big marks is durability. This engine has been building a strong reputation for being both durable and reliable. When you combine that with the race sled-inspired chassis and suspension reinforcements of the XRS package, you get a sled that will give you trouble-free operation season after season. Speaking of chassis, one can't forget that the XRS 600R is built on Ski-Doo's now legendary G4 platform, which means it's riding on the industry's benchmark for rear-end ride quality, Ski-Doo's R-Motion skid frame. Even after years on the snow, the R-Motion with its 40mm KYB shocks is still arguably the best riding skid frame on snow. I say arguably because some people feel Polaris' new Pro CC skid is as good. Some don't agree. Either way, R-Motion is at the top of its class. If you check all the boxes when you order your XRS, you can get Ski-Doo's tunnel-mounted compression and preload adjusters. When combined with its excellent ride characteristics, R-Motion helps gain the XRS big marks in rear-end ride quality and suspension adjustability. Now there are a few things we don't love about the XRS, which translate into a few categories where its scores are less than impressive. The two biggest are ride quality front and on-trail handling. This should come as no surprise though. These are two things we've been less than impressed with on all G4 chassis sleds since its introduction. Nothing has changed with the 600R. Polaris' new Indy XC850 has taken the industry by storm this season. Its not-so-subtle attack on Ski-Doo's 850 G4 chassis has caused quite a stir among 850 class buyers, and for very good reason. Our scoring results don't reveal any real surprises. There's a lot to like about this sled, starting with the motor. The XC850's mill got big marks in a number of categories, including, surprisingly, engine economy, and not surprisingly, engine performance. I don't care who you are or what brand you're loyal to. The fact of the matter is that Polaris' new Patriot 850 is an absolutely stellar motor that produces endless power, but does it in the smoothest, most linear and controllable way imaginable. It's also surprisingly good on gas and oil. Not as good as an 850 E-Tech, but it is close. Now before we go any further, I do have to address an important point about this motor that I know many of you will roast me on if I don't. There have been reports of 850 Patriot engine failures. If you only read what you find on the internet, you may be led to believe that this is a massive problem. However, while there are absolutely cases of failures, the actual failure rate is right around 1%. Is there a problem? A very small one. Smaller, in fact, than many other new engine releases from other manufacturers. And when you consider that Polaris is warrantying all of these motors without question, and offering an additional year of warranty on top of the 4 that it already comes with if you had a problem, this isn't something that's going to hurt the scores for this engine. Furthermore, this is something we had no problems with on any of our 4 850s after thousands of miles on each of them this season. So as I said in the beginning, if we didn't experience it, it's not a consideration. All of this is to explain why the Indy XC850 got and deserves the big marks it got in the durability category. What doesn't need any explanation is the near perfect marks it got in both the front-end ride and on-trail handling categories. We've said this over and over. Polaris' Axis front end is as close to perfect as any other snowmobile front end has ever been. It offers light and predictable handling all the time. It rides fantastic, and it can handle any condition you can throw at it, no matter how harsh or how aggressively you ride. Big marks again in the rear-end ride quality department thanks to Polaris' new Pro CC rear skid frame with its Walker Evans Velocity rear arm shock. It has come closer than any other skid frame in the industry to equaling the overall ride quality of Ski-Doo's R-Motion. More big marks in rider ergonomics, price, value, and overall riding experience all contributed to this sled being solidly among the top 2 contenders in this season's competition. Areas where the Indy XC850 got lower marks were off-trail versatility and wind protection and warmth.
SnowTrax is sponsored by Princess Auto, a unique world of equipment, tools, and more.
Now that we have a solid understanding of the high and low points of our 2019 Real World Sled of the Year contenders, Ski-Doo's MXZ XRS 600R and Polaris's Indy XC850, we can reveal who won and why. The point spread between first and second place finishers was only 4.2%, so incredibly close. Ski-Doo's MXZ XRS 600R has got a stellar motor, excellent rear-end ride quality, long-lasting durability, industry-leading fit and finish, and it's unbeatably efficient. It's a 600-class work of art that offers everything you could ever hope for from a modern snowmobile. Polaris's Indy XC850 offers everything the XRS does in the way of engine performance, rear-end ride quality, and durability, but it outperforms when it comes to front-end ride, on-trail handling, and overall value. I said in the very beginning that SnowTrax TV's Real World Sled of the Year award is not about the newest, flashiest, or most powerful sled. It's about the sled that provides the best overall riding experience on the snow. For 2019, the scores don't lie. They simply reinforce the unanimous opinions of everyone here at SnowTrax. Yes, it's powerful, and yes, it's new and flashy, but most importantly, you simply can't get a better experience on the snow than what you get aboard Polaris's 2019 Indy XC850. It is SnowTrax TV's 2019 Real World Sled of the Year. Each year, SnowTrax presents an award for the latest and greatest technology that we've seen for the current season. We call it the Revolutionary Advanced Design Award, or RAD for short. We ensure the RAD technology that we pick has a full season's use and is proven to be truly revolutionary. Its essential new tech sees real-world use, and we don't believe in handing out awards for something that hasn't been put to the test by you, the consumer, and us here at SnowTrax. Arctic Cat's Alpha 1 single-beam rear mountain suspension has been put to the test out west by the Black Cats, and this season has proven to be a serious benefit out on the hill. Utilizing a single-beam triangular rear suspension rail, the Alpha 1 allows the track to conform to the terrain and offers more flex out of the track than any other articulating or flexible track system. The aluminum extruded design features magnesium attachments, lowering weight, while the single center window 3.5-inch pitch, 3-inch lug Alpha 1 specific track provides incredible grip, able to not just shed huge amounts of snow, but also the snow doesn't have anywhere to build up and weigh you down. This is due to the smooth outer portions of windowless track and the single triangular beam design. After not just seeing but experiencing all of these benefits firsthand, we award Arctic Cat's Alpha 1 single beam rear suspension the 2019 SnowTrax TV RAD Award.
Closed captioning of SnowTrax is sponsored by Triton Trailers, built for adventure.
On this week's test ride, we're going to stray away from the mainstream and bring you a full report on something completely different. The all-new 2020 Ski-Doo G4 850 Expedition Xtreme. While the new Expedition Xtreme is different in many ways from the snowmobiles we regularly evaluate here at SnowTrax, it is an important new model in a segment that's, are you ready for this? As hot or hotter than the trail performance segment. That's right, this unusual snowmobile and its competition sell huge in places like northern Quebec, Ontario, and Newfoundland, and as well as northern Europe. What Ski-Doo is up to with this all-new and significantly reinvented snowmobile is this. They believe what you're looking at here can sell in increasing numbers in the places most of us ride, where there's trails and recreational snowmobiling rules. Before you roll your eyes and assume we're nuts, try and digest this reality. This snowmobile has a 20-inch wide by 154-inch long by 1.8-inch deep lug track. It is powered by nothing less than a full-on 850cc, 165 horsepower E-Tech engine. And we're here to tell you this snowmobile can deliver heroic acceleration, impressive top speed, ride and handling rivaling many sport performance models, and some of the coolest wheelies we've ever pulled on a sled. The new Expedition Xtreme comes closer to performing multiple tasks than any other sled in the industry, regardless of the segment. Let me explain it this way. Mountain sleds can do one thing really well. Trail performance sleds can do one thing really well. And most utility sleds can do one thing really well. The Expedition Xtreme can do many things really well. We're serious about the level of competence the Expedition possesses in deep snow. This sled can run in bottomless snow and climb out like a full-on summit. Take the new Xtreme on a trail ride with your buds, and they're going to find themselves pushing hard to keep up. Hook a rope around your ice hut and drag it through snow and slush to the best location on the lake. The potential to do a lot of winter stuff really well, then giggle until the ice cream comes out your nose when you blow by your buds on Kevlar Lake, is a reality you must experience. The new Expedition Xtreme gets its talent from a combination of the G4 architecture up front and a 20-inch by 154 track and tunnel in the rear. You could say the new Expedition Xtreme is the Swiss Army knife of snowmobiles. The Expedition's skin is based on the 4-stroke wide-body profile with modified key panels in front of your knees. The Expedition models have an auxiliary radiator mounted up front with a fan to supplement ginormous heat exchangers in the tunnel. The rear of the 154-inch skid is articulated, allowing the Expedition to go backwards in deep snow almost as proficiently as it goes forward. Above that plush-riding rear suspension is enough space to carry just about anything short of a refrigerator, or you can attach over 85 different link accessories made especially for the new Expedition. I know I sound pretty over the top about the Expedition Xtreme, and I don't want you to assume this is the perfect snowmobile. There is the issue of a 20-inch wide tunnel pushing your legs apart. Some may find this ergo quirk a deal breaker. Here's something which might soften the reality of a 20-inch wide tunnel. For years, 20-inch wide sleds have suffered from crazy track howl and annoying thrumming as speeds rise. This cacophony has turned a lot of prospective buyers off of 20-wides. Ski-Doo knew this when designing the new Expedition. Their answer to this deep-seated problem was to cut slots between every grouser, effectively stopping the track carcass from behaving like a drum. On top of this, the wheel runways are coated with a special soft rubber. These two changes make a literal world of difference, quieting otherwise noisy track to a completely tolerable level. The Expedition lineup comes with 850 E-Tech power in the Xtreme, 900 turbo, 900 non-turbo, and 600 R power in the SE and LE models. All Expeditions come with a brand new smooth shifting, high-low range sub-transmission. While this reinvented snowmobile may not be for everyone, we have a funny feeling that it may be a ride for more snowmobilers than ever before. There is very little compromise demanded by the Expedition Xtreme. The sled is a superb recreational trail riding machine, while at the same time able to navigate deep snow as effectively as a pure mountain ride. When it comes to work and utility, it's almost incomparable. One thing we know for sure about today's snowmobilers is this. Many of them want a snowmobile that can do more than just one thing.
SnowTrax has been sponsored by Polaris Snowmobiles, MBRP Power Sports, race-inspired, trail-proven, and by the wide world of Arctic Cat.
If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, like it and then subscribe to our page for more great content from SnowTrax TV.